First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and the elders of JAMAIC'S, Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim out there pushing this word in all sincerity and in truth. Now, this video is a video that I've been wanting to do for the past couple of days, but the phone kept giving me troubles. But this topic is a hot topic in Jamaica right now. Most Jamaicans are talking about the NIDS card, the National Identification System that's coming out, and the majority of people have something negative to say about it. Most people are saying that it's the mark of the beast, or it will lead to the mark of the beast, saying that it's intrusive, it's an invasion of their privacy, and these are the common concerns of most Jamaicans. The problem is, many people don't understand the full agenda behind the National Identification System. They don't understand the full universal agenda that's behind it. The reason why a digital identity is important in the society that the so-called white man is planning, right? And hopefully with the spirit of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, this lesson will be edifying, on that account, to show where exactly the NIDS idea is coming from and where it will be leading to, and hopefully we'll include some information on the blockchain, just a little bit of information on the blockchain and the Internet of Things, and how your digital identity or digital identification will tie into all of that, right? So first of all, we need to establish that this whole push for digital identity is not something that's singular to Jamaica. Most people are saying that Jamaica is doing this thing and US is not doing it, and other countries not doing it, why Jamaica doing it. But it's actually a brainchild of the United Nations, and we're going to just get into the information here. So this is from id2020.org, and the topic is why digital identity. It says identity is foundational for political, economic, and social opportunity. Yet over 1 billion people are unable to prove who they are. A digital identity that puts the individual at the center can provide political, economic, and social opportunity. All right? So it says it's a fundamental human right. Article 6 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights stipulates that everyone has the right to recognition and everywhere as a person before the law. The Sustainable Development Goals include Target 16.9, which aims to provide legal identity to all, including registration by 2030. Now, this is the key point that I want to bring out here. There is an Agenda 2030 that was thought up by the United Nations, and has been rolled out for the past few years. And this push for digital identity is actually part of the target or the goals for sustainable development under Agenda 2030 by the United Nations. And again, Target 16.9 says to provide legal identity to all, including birth registration by 2030. Now, how does Jamaica fall into this? All right, let's make the tie. Now, this is from the website jam.undp.org. Now, the UNDP stands for United Nations Development Program, all right, and the website head says UNDP in Jamaica. All right, it says Caribbean countries can now track progress in Agenda 2030 action online, all right, and it was dated July 21st, 2017. Caribbean countries can now track their progress in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals through a SGD index and dashboard report launched by the Sustainable Development Solutions Network and in Bertelsmann Stiftung, right? And I can post the article here for brothers who want to read more or anyone interested in reading more. But basically what this shows you is that the goals that we have for our country, long-term goals, are stipulated by Agenda 2030, and we model our goals after that. All right, let's get another article that will say something, more explicit than that. All right, this is Vision 2030, jis.gov.jm, Vision 2030 National Development Plan. All right, so it says Vision 2030 Jamaica is a strategic roadmap to guide the country to achieve its goals of sustainable development and prosperity by 2030. Notice the similarity in wording. Vision 2030 in Jamaica is in line with the inclusive development paradigm of the United Nations that integrates the standards and principles of human rights, participation, non-discrimination, and accountability. The comprehensive vision of the National Development Plan is to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. Right? So the point I wanted to bring out is that the Vision 2030 manifesto is roadmapped from the United Nations Agenda 2030 program, right? Including, the National Identification System, because we saw on the ID 2020 that the Sustainable Development Goals that were under Agenda 2030, target 16.9, aims to provide legal identity to all, including birth registration by 2030, right? So this National Identification System is actually a brainchild of the United Nations that was actually introduced to Jamaica in the 1970s, was actually the framework, started being built. The digital framework started being built in 2011 when the then Prime Minister Bruce Golding, announced it to the public, but many people did not pay attention to it at that time. It's being funded through a loan from the United States, through the UN, the same UNDP, United Nations Development Program, right? So what's the purpose of this digital identity? Well, the first thing is each individual in society needs to be identifiable, and not just by a picture, but through biometric information as well, right? And instead of having one factor identification, what they're pushing for is 2 and 3 and 4 factor identifications. For example, when you sign into Facebook on a different device, it will send you a message, it can send you a text, it can ask to call you, different things to further authenticate your person, right? So that somebody else can't get into your account. And it's the same thing with Google Authenticator, and multiple apps, multiple social media apps, multiple sites are using 2-factor authentication right now. And the idea is that it's more secure, which is true, right? So with this national identification card, you won't just have an image that proves who you are, right? You will have also biometric information, behavioral information, and all these things that prove who you are as a person. Now, how does this tie into the blockchain? Now, the blockchain technology, right, is basically, it's a technology right now that's being used mainly for Bitcoin, but it is advancing to, economic applications, to identification applications, social applications. It's basically the framework that they want to build the new system of governance with, e-governance, e-commerce, all these things that our ministers of government are mentioning, are going to be possible under the technology of the blockchain. Now, the blockchain provides a way for governments, right, to monitor information that's being sent from one person to the next, right, to monitor the information on every single level, to see where the information is coming from, where it's going to, how it's being altered at each level. And it also offers a more secure way of sending that information. Now, when you have a national identification card, right, you will also be connected into the Internet of Things via the blockchain, right? So every transaction that you do, right, will be transparent, will be accountable to you, right? And that's where the real intrusiveness of the national identification system comes in. It's not the fact that they're taking your fingerprint or your toe print or your iris scan. No, it's not the fact that it's taking your biometric information. It's the fact that it will be able to track and have information on everything that you do as a person, every transaction that you do, who you made the transaction with. For example, there was a video that I